No. Alawa. Kunite.
I mean, it has to be done. Hello and welcome to the Sith And Scoundrel Podcast. This is episode 0. It's our lovely little introduction. I am your host, Phil, joined by Matt. We are going to be here every single Thursday talking all things Star Wars and catching up. First of all, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm all right. The 40-minute catch-up we just did was pretty good. The little snippet of Jedi Rocks is just the boost I need.
I mean, there was your suggestion earlier. I was talking about thumbnails. It's like, need an introduction as well. What about Jedi Rocks? Just sent the video. I put the intro. It's like, oh my god, yes. Like, got done. It's fine. Sorted. Here we go.
I did such a Google on it earlier because for some reason on Spotify, you might know the reasoning for this. It's not on the Return of the Jedi soundtrack. It's Lapsy Neck.
Yeah.
But it's not on there. And it's been driving me mad because I just randomly remembered it for no reason at all the other day. I was just like, oh, this track really slaps. And I'm going on Google. People hate it. They're just like, oh, this is the worst thing to come out of Star Wars. I'm like, no.
Have you seen the holiday special?
I'm just like, what's wrong with a bit of soul on like Jabba's Barge?
To be fair, though, you're a bass player at heart. Of course you're going to love it. It has got a proper groove to it, that track.
It's not what it does. I just want a Max Rebo album, Phil. After all this time, I want the Rebo Disney Plus series.
He got to the gig, and that's all that mattered. And what was irritating when there was a celebration, by the time I got to Celebration store, they sold out the Max Rebo plushies. Well, I was going to pick one up just so he got to the gig.
Man, I've got to get to the gig.
What I love those after is they confirmed that he wasn't in the explosion because he didn't get to that gig. The one that he didn't get to. He lives because Max Rebo's got to get to the gig, man.
We need it needs to be it's 100 parsecs to Alderaan. We got half a tank of fuel, a full pack of death sticks. It's we're in space and we're wearing sunglasses in it, and you get that.
I can totally see that being a thing, especially with Lando. That's a Lando thing to do.
Right, Lando and Max Rebo spin-off for Disney Plus.
Well, we know the Lando series is coming, so it'll have to be a thing. I want Max Rebo in Lando now. It has to be done.
If it's not done like the Wonder Years, I'm going to be really upset, I think.
Oh, I am very excited for when that comes out. But yeah, so as we are, I mean, to be fair, you can already tell if you didn't know us for anything before. Matt and I have been friends for a very long time. Both of us Star Wars fans. And this is where the Sith and Scoundrel comes into a little bit more. Matt and I have very much a Favreau and Filoni relationship. I would say it's up to you to work out which one it is, but Matt is the Favreau to my Filoni. I know far too much.
You just ruined the game, man. you can guess, but I'm going to tell you.
They're going to figure it out anyway. It's just like when I put up the thing on Facebook earlier. So I was like, oh, you're the scoundrel then because I'm known for being a scum player, which is entirely your fault when it comes to X-Wing.
Just say, what were we saying? 2016, I was running twin fire sprays of the Z95 and then a self-fulfilling prophecy. You took it to world.
Nationals 2015, I still in my cabinet because it's one of my prize things. Actually, have
got the coin.
The coin, yeah.
Yeah, mine's under my hand dice.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, many games ago. Yes, but yeah, I'd end up taking double fire sprays and came to the X-Wing World Championship. So yes, it was a thing. I know you.
In fairness, you did better than me in the long run, I think.
Slightly.
You went further than Birmingham with it, so you win.
I have gone slightly further than Birmingham.
Just in general.
I mean, yeah, I have played obviously out in Poland. I've played in Sweden. I'm going to be playing in Belgium. I've played in America. It's a game I absolutely love. Of course, we first started playing it on the floor of
in devices, man.
In devices, yes.
Yeah, I bought that little starter set. Well, yeah, I played on the floor. Yeah. Wasn't that mad? That was such a long time ago.
That was Christmas 2014.
Oh, good God.
So that was 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's insane. That's mental.
Yeah.
From the times I waited 18 months to get Millennium Falcon. And then by the time it arrived, Fat Hammer had disappeared. Anyway, this isn't the next film podcast.
No, I already do one of those.
You already do one of those. You don't need two, that's greedy.
That's just greedy. But yeah,
Yeah.
so Matt and I have been friends for a very long time, and we are both Star Wars fans, both different Star Wars fans, which is why this show's going to be very, very interesting, because you can get basically two different points of view. One from the I absolutely love this tiny Easter egg for this lore that goes back all the way here to the got to get to the gig, man.
I think the appeal of it is, I think the reason we kind of broached the idea, in fairness, is I am, in fairness, a big original trilogy fan. And I've not really engaged with a lot of the media outside it. I think it's fair to say I've kind of watched The Mandalorian, and it became a lot of me turning around to you and being like, who's this? If you go back far enough through Ones in the Force, you'll find me going, I don't know who Ahsoka is. And it's kind of, from now, kind of exploring these Disney Plus series and stuff. And I'm just finding that I'm messaging Phil like all of the time and going, oh my God, there's this, and this is really cool, and this person's awesome. And it's something we're talking about like weekly, but we never see each other. We live a good X amount of miles apart. And it's just like, at the very baseline, it's a chance to like see one of my old friends weekly and talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
But also, I'm going to get an insight. You're like a living director's commentary to what I'm watching. You see,
this is very. To be fair, though, it was when. So this is going back. I think it was pre-pandemic. Funny enough, a long time ago now. Again, was on One's the Force. You started watching Clone Wars, and you kind of got through to season 2. Now, season 1 and 2 they jump around. Season 3 later on, it's just all linear, which is how it should have been from the start, to be honest. But you weren't that enamored.
No.
And then messaged me say, I've started watching Clone Wars again. And then he went, Hondo Ohnaka is amazing. Of course, I go, my friend is I, Hondo Ohnaka.
I love him so much. He's so flexible.
Yeah. That's how this one came out, because that was the conversation where you went, yeah, we should totally do this. And of course, the Sith and Scoundrel like, this totally sounds like a Barley. Yeah, this just fits perfectly.
It was Hondo's great, and you're like, he's really good. He comes back in Rebels. I was like, he comes back. There's more of them. And I think, well, I mean, we're not going to, we won't episode by episode Clone Wars, because I'm just chewing through it right now. But I have just met the Bad Batch for the first time. This was the other day, and I was like, Phil, they're amazing.
Yep. I mean, Phil, that's when I showed you my Wrecker jacket, which I picked up for Celebration, because like, Wrecker is just awesome.
I'm still adamant the Scar Troopers are based on.
They are.
Oh, because the Scar Troopers are wicked. They are very cool.
So the Scar Troopers came about in the. I actually remember telling you about the Scar Troopers when I was reading them. They came about after Clone Wars had finished, but before they'd brought back for season 7 and then Bad Batch. So the Bad Batch were there, but the episodes hadn't been released yet. They were these unfinished episodes. They've been shown in Celebration. They're online. They're available for a long time on StarWars.com, but they took them down a few years ago, primarily because, well, we then had the episodes finished up. So the episodes for season 7 of Clone Wars, where you get the Bad Batch, the first 4 episodes, had already been released, but in an unfinished form. So we already you'd met the characters anyway, but that's the properly. This is who the Bad Batch are and what they do. The Scar Troopers were based off of that because they went, well, we like these, we want more of these. We're not doing Clone Wars, so let's get Imperial versions. And then that's kind of what the Scar Troopers were initially based on. And Scar Troopers are badass. But you have,
cool.
but it also harks them back to the Wrath for Quarry artwork, because you have a Stormtrooper with a lightsaber.
Yeah, well, it's the Hunter equivalent, isn't it? It's the Sloan-looking one.
Yeah.
There's a lightsaber. I thought that was very, very, very cool. Now, I like the Bad Batch. They're fun. I'm kind of excited to move on to that. I'm excited to move on to that. I liked them when they turned up and Wrecker flipped the Republic gunship. I thought it was wicked. I thought it was well good. I'm not taking Cody. I'm moving the ship. I was like, oh, what? You're actually going to do this? Oh, he did. Yeah. I'm excited for more of them. They're going to be very cool.
Yeah, we all have that big dumb friend in our friendship group that is the one that is a little bit unhinged, but in a completely harmless way. And I mean, to be fair, you know Jamie very, very well. You know that for me, that is Jamie is Wrecker. And you know the worst thing at the moment? So the guy's injured himself again. He has torn his rotator cuff. off the bone, torn the nerve endings by playing Legion.
Wow, how
He
is he playing Legion?
He was playing Legion, I think, just up the local on the Bastion, basically. So he just leant on the table and just completely tore his rotator cuff off the bones. Like, I mean, I was put in hospital because I'm playing X-Wing, my back went. You've then done your injury by playing Legion. Like, these games are lethal for us.
Wrong with you? I need to turn up. I need to turn up at some point and like observe how you guys are playing these games, because I feel like you might have added something to the rulebook about playing precariously. Or I might have to do like desk assessments on you for like health and safety reasons.
I mean, there is video evidence because we were live streaming when my back went. So
that.
Yeah, it's bad.
After the initial like horror of your screen, by the time you've watched it, it's looped 4 times. It's kind of funny.
Oh, it's very, very funny.
I was like, oh my god, are you okay? Oh, you're fine, good, because this is now hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't fine at the time, but yes, it is bloody hilarious when you look back on it now. But it is one of those things of when you explain it to people, they don't kind of understand. Go, just watch the video, you'll see it's fine.
Just to re-edit it with some comedy sound effects, like slipping on a banana or something. That'd be quite good.
I mean,
like a guitar string breaking, that would be a fun one.
That would be a good one.
Or a Wilhelm scream.
I might have to do that. That is always the fun game of Star Wars, though. Spot the Wilhelm screen.
Turned up in Kenobi, didn't it? I was impressed with that.
It did. Yeah, it had to be done, though. Like, the Wilhelm scream is iconic when it comes to... It's been around for donkey's years anyway. It was first used in a film in the 1930s. So it's been around for a long, long time.
See, kids, you listen to you're going to learn things. It's like a education. We're going to learn so much, Phil.
Yeah, it's what I do. But it's one of those things that scream is just iconic. And of course, when it comes down to bits like that in Star Wars, like with the Stormtrooper who smacks his head, once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. It's like, all right, then we'll put a sound effect on it. Make sure he's all right. And then if you read from a certain point of view, it turns out that's the Stormtrooper that Kenobi did the mind trick on. So he's just a bit groggy. So he went from being on Tatooine, getting mind tricked, to then hitting his head and then getting blown up from the Death Star. I mean, how bad a week can you have?
Was it Gary from Robot Chicken? That's what I want. I feel like that was Gary the Stormtrooper. Really...
Yeah, but that's Donald Faison, who then appears in Resistance. So he ends up in Star Wars anyway.
There we go. I think and Zach Braff was in Kenobi as well. So we've now kind of got Space, Turk and JD.
Yep.
Which I'm really okay with. Man, like the Star Wars, it's going to become like the Marvel movies. Everyone's going to end up in Star Wars now.
I mean, to be fair though, if you want to make the comparison though, Ahsoka and Anakin are JD and Turk, and Obi-Wan is definitely Dr. Cox. He's just fed up of their shit, doesn't know what the hell to do with them, but knows they're good at their job, so he can't fire them.
Obi-Wan's like, listen up, newbie. I can't. Because Palpatine would be a great, like, Kelso. One thing I don't understand about the Clone Wars at the moment.
It's like doesn't give a crap. Palpatine.
The way Palpatine's animated. I'm watching Clone Wars. I know the whole Palpatine story, but I watched it like, how do none of you know he's a bad dude? He's like blue and grey. Yeah. None of you looking at him being like, he's got a pretty sinister color palette going on. It's very strange.
He's mental, and no one picks it up because that's the Jedi hubris, which is what I love.
No, I think I've gotten to the bit where like they just explored the Sifo Dyas stuff, which has been like unexplored for me for years. It was a name mentioned in Attack of the Clones, and I've heard it since. So to pick it up in Clone Wars, I was like, "Ooh, this Sifo Dyas," and like Yoda's starting to get a bit of an inkling that something's going on. Which I find really interesting. So he's just like, I've just watched that bit where he went on his weird Force journey following Qui-Gon's voice and stuff.
And then, well, to be fair though, you then have also then come across Darth Bane.
Yes, Yeah,
who is
yeah.
voiced by Mark Hamill.
Is he?
Yes.
Didn't know that. That's
So
very
apart-
cool.
so
What,
apart
that's a
from,
weird, like, lava ghost, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was cool.
it turns out both his dad in Anakin Skywalker and Vader, Luke has also been a Sith and a Jedi in canon. It's brilliant. I love it.
And what I like about Fallen Order is that Cal Kestis is the second Jedi to have been the Joker,
This is very, very true.
which I've always enjoyed. That means two, Luke and Cal have both been the Joker.
Although, isn't he technically not the Joker for rights reasons? It's kind of
he's kind of like proto Joker,
yeah,
but he does a really good job. He does do a good job of it when he goes unhinged.
yeah.
I was like, he's enjoyable to watch. He was very enjoyable to watch.
I'm just gutted that I can't play Survivor because my laptop is old, and I want to play Survivor, and it looks.
Oh yeah, Fallen Order was excellent.
Good. Fallen Order was incredible.
Fallen Order was very good. I mean, I've got a PS4, mate, and I'm part of me wants to get a PS5 just for Survivor because you get to fight Wampers in it, and there's nothing uncool about that.
But they also have High Republic style lightsabers in it, which I like because I have fallen down that rabbit hole massively. Which is the cool thing for going to Celebration. When we were there, of course, we saw the trailer for the Acolyte. Now, that trailer, not all of it's leaked because people only recorded like half of it. There's another half still to go of the trailer. But you see Trinity going absolutely badass as a Jedi. It's incredible. I walked in there. Well, rolled in there in the wheelchair, I should say more accurately. Rolled in there, and I was well up for this. This is what I was excited for most in the Acolyte.
Can I just side note, Phil? Next Star Wars Celebration in the UK, we have to go. Like, I've not been, you've been twice. We have to go.
Yep.
So you're going to have to badger me into actually buying a ticket.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to get a Bluetooth speaker and push you around the whole time to Riding Dirty.
I mean, yeah.
All white and nerdy, you can have a choice. You can have a Weird Al, like, parody, or you can have the Chamillionaire original.
No, give it to me, Obi. I want the offspring.
Give it to me, Obi!
And all the Jedi said I'm pretty fly. It's all the guns that are pretty fly for a Jedi. Like, give me pretty fly for a Jedi. Just give me that.
All about the Base No Rebels? That's a good parody.
That is a really good one, yep. Or a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Again, another.
Yeah, dude, people will find us because it's just going to be seagulls and bushes of love on repeat.
I mean, they did have seagulls in. Fantastic.
Bushes in the bushes of love. Yeah. But anyway, you went to the Acolyte panel. I'm just trying to think of things I could attach to you, like a saddlebag.
No, so this is the thing that we didn't even. This wasn't even the Acolyte panel. This is the Lucasfilm showcase. So this is when you were watching the 6 minutes of Indiana Jones. So
amazing. How was that?
Yeah, that was fantastic. Genuinely, that was fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to seeing it.
I'm just so happy they're doing a fourth one.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah,
the first three are amazing. It's been 30 odd years since we've had one.
It's been a long time, man. And then we're getting the fourth one, and it's just it's going to be so nice.
Exactly. So I saw the trailer for it. They showed us like 6 minutes of it. John Rhys Davies is just fantastic, again, as he should be. But then, of course,
my boy.
We had the announcement of the complete timeline, so of the new films, including
for Indiana Jones.
Like Indiana Jones is at the end tacked onto all this, but like
there were Nazis and there were Nazis.
Yep.
And Snake somewhere.
Mads Mikkelsen's in both. He's, of course, Galen Erso in Rogue One, and he's playing a Nazi in this. But he came on stage. He was like, "I'm not playing a bad guy.
You choose Mads Mikkelsen and not like Harrison Ford."
Harrison Ford sent a video message, but Mads Mikkelsen was like, because he's Galen Erso. But no, we had the trailer for so the complete timeline, so Dawn of the Jedi, which is like 25,000 years before the rise, like the Skywalker saga. So I'm really intrigued for that. The Old Republic, so the like Old Republic games, all that kind of stuff, like Darth Revan and things, they are bringing that into the canon somehow, which is going to be very interesting. We've already had Darth Vader.
Canon, because I've been playing those Old Republic. I've not played it before. I've been playing it on the Switch. It's very good, but bring that in.
And I've been playing the Old Republic, as you remember, when I was at uni, actually. I got the Founders big off. I've been playing that again.
Did! With the big statue,
yeah, I still love it. So I'm playing it recently. But they didn't say how they're doing it, but basically when they brought the time, they went Dawn of the Jedi 25,000 years before.
That's going to be about like Jedi trying to start Ford Fiestas and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And then you've got the first of the films, which is then Mando, the Mandoverse film, which Filoni finally gets to do a film. Finally gets to do one. Looking forward to that.
But that's what they've been, I think, for what I don't want to say grooming, but I feel like that's what Favreau has been guiding him to be able to be unleashed on a solo project. That's the impression I've gotten from all this.
Yeah, 100%. He has been. He's been the guiding force to go from animation to live action, from TV to film. It's Favreau's. I feel like
Favreau's like training wheels for him. And it's working to this point. I'm excited for that. I am very excited for that because I'm a big fan of The Mandalorian. So
and then they went, here you go, here's a new film set 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker with Daisy Ridley and the New Jedi Order. And she came out and it was received very well. You could tell she was bricking it.
Yeah.
And I would understand because unfortunately not a lot. I mean, I will be very upfront and honest. Out of the 9 films for the Skywalker saga, I rate The Rise of Skywalker second to lowest, with Attack of the Clones being the bottom for me. But that's...
Really? Is that because of Obi-Wan's mullet?
No, it's because the dialogue is awful and the effects are terrible. Here's a floating pear that suddenly gets stuck to a fork, and Padme takes a bite out of it that doesn't take a bite. It just disappears. It's...
Bro, for me, what year did that come out? 2002? 2003?
2002, yeah.
Yeah,
but to be fair, there's also Padme in the black dress at 2002 when I was 11 years old going, okay, that's a thing.
Bro, I was in year 8, and I remember seeing it. And I didn't care a lot because Christopher Lee was excellent.
He was.
And I just lost my mind at Jango Fett.
No,
like, at that age, like a lifelong Boba Fett fan, I was just like, I'm his dad, and he's great!
He's fantastic. But I out of the 9 Skywalker films, I put that, for me, lowest, because there's parts of it I really don't enjoy, but there's parts of it I absolutely adore. Dooku is the best part, but then you get Revenge of the Sith, which is one of the best Star Wars films ever made.
You put it Skywalker for me Menace.
Yeah, because I really enjoy Phantom Menace. Because I love Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
The pod racing is complete nostalgia because it's just wizard.
No, this is pod racing.
But you have Darth Maul and you have Duel of the Fates, and it's just Duel of the Fates, Battle of Heroes, it's John Williams, it's everything. I absolutely love
John Williams with his piano on fire. Like, I feel like the best things to come out of Phantom Menace were Liam Neeson and Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rise of Skywalker.
But yeah, so Rise of Skywalker I put down. So obviously, yeah, and I enjoy it. There's bits of it that I really love. There's bits I don't like, but that's fine. I don't hate on her. I actually quite like the fact she picked up the Skywalker mantle and actually owned who she wanted to be and what she wanted to envision rather than her actual blood. There's a lot of bits I quite like, which people don't, but she was very well received. But
have you seen the edit? There's a side point. I just want to explain why I sniggered that, because I like Daisy Ridley and I liked Rey. Yeah. But have you seen the edits where people put in General Grievous chasing after lightsabers? So there's the one where he tosses it and he just runs off the cliff, and there's the one where she buries the sabers, and when she walks off, Grievous just comes running in, and they just really make me chuckle. Like another fine addition to my collection. It just comes scuttling in.
The best one's when Kylo lobs his into the sea and Grievous just jumps it after it.
Into the water.
But the point is, though, we sat down and watched all this entire giant 2.5 hour panel. You had the Ahsoka trailer, you had the announcements, and you had the Acolyte trailer. And I was in there as a High Republic fan, coming out of which Dave and George, who have not read a single comic or book from the series, Robin, who now is completely enamored with it and trying to catch up to me as quickly as he can, but wasn't a huge fan to begin with. All three of them went out of that going, that was the best thing out of the entire panel. And I can't give it any higher praise than that, because when you do eventually see what's in store for the Acolyte, you'll enjoy it. But this is where Matt and I differ slightly. To me, the Jedi are Star Wars. I was brought up on Arthurian Knights. I was brought up on proper old medieval lore and stories and fantasy. I like wizards. So when it came into the Jedi, were basically space wizards with shiny swords. They were cool. I to me, the Jedi, and as I grew older, the more Buddhist way of thinking, the actual teachings of the Jedi, the more centralized way, it resonated with me more. I'm a huge fan of the Jedi. Matt, as he will explain in a second, is a little different when it comes to this in Star Wars.
Yes. No, right. So it's very interesting you say this. It's a conversation I was kind of having the other day. There's a couple of memes going around of like ranking sci-fi series.
Yeah.
And it's that meme with the people on the podium and the person at the bottom dousing himself in champagne. You know, have you seen it?
Yes.
Biting on the medal.
Yeah.
They put Star Wars at the bottom of this thing. And there's this big run up before it of like Babylon 5, Farscape, Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek. And I'm reading through it, and I kind of realized at that point that I'm not really a sci-fi fan, Phil. I was reading through this list, and I was like, I've not engaged with most of this list. Now, I think the appeal for Star Wars for me to trade into this whole Jedi thing is I was brought up on Westerns through my grandfather.
Yeah.
And my grandfather's a really big John Wayne fan. And Westerns, and I saw Indiana Jones before I saw Star Wars. So for me, I had this revelation that I'm not really a sci-fi fan. Like, I don't think 40K counts because it's like a dystopian grimdark thing.
Yeah.
But for me, Star Wars is a space western.
Yeah.
It's just the realization I kind of came to. And that's the aspect I enjoy. So
That's why I actually love Cad Bane, because he is...
Cad Bane's amazing. But like,
he's just awesome.
I'm gonna look at this. Why I'm enjoying The Mandalorian so much, because it's not really very Jedi centric.
No.
Mandalorians are great. I got the SADs the other day and bought a Darksaber, which is the best thing ever.
Yes.
It's over there somewhere.
Yeah, because we had the discussion of which one were you going to get.
Yeah, buy the Kenobi one or the Darksaber. The difference is £100. We'll get the Darksaber. But I like the Mandalorian thing. I love the Mandalorian. But then you go through it, people like Cobb Vanth, I thought was amazing. Timothy Olyphant, he's great. Cad Bane, I really like.
Books. That was really cool.
Yeah, I finished those. He kept buying them for me. I haven't finished them yet. I just don't finish novels very well.
No.
So we go through it like Cobb Vanth was great, and Cad Bane, and all those kind of characters. So, I mean, back when I watched the original trilogy, I was never like a big Luke fan.
No, you're
Han fan, 100%. It's always been Han and like Boba Fett and that. And it's why, like, I don't know what it is. Pirates are cool. So when I saw Hondo, I was just like, oh, the Clone Wars has been holding out on me for years, because I'd not watched it until very recently, kind of actually made the effort to engage with it. And Hondo's the man, dude. He's so cool. And it's just, so that element for me is, I like the scoundrel element. I like the Mandalorian's warrior creed thing. So that when it comes to the High Republic, it's kind of a hard sell for me, because I'm like, every problem can be fixed by throwing a space wizard with a laser sword at it. Do you know what I mean? They feel kind of almost like sometimes quite OP in the settings, but they should do, I guess. You take Rogue One, and that film was breathtakingly incredible. I want to rewatch it. And that pulls us into the first series we're going to watch and discuss is Andor, because I've not seen it yet. Andor's a relatively hard sell for me to enjoy a series about a character when you know where, when, and how he dies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been a hard sell. That's the first one we're going to be digging into. Spoiler alert. There you go. So, but when Vader turns up in that, he's terrifying.
Yeah, as Vader should be. When I watched that
should.
in the cinema, I was like, this is the Vader I have wanted all along. Because when you read the comics, my favorite panel to this day is still from Vader Down of he's surrounded by just rebel troopers. Like, give up, you're done, you're surrounded. But the only thing I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men. Ignites his saber. Next panel, they're all dead. It's like, this is just a badass thing.
When Disney bought Star Wars and everyone was losing their minds and going,
I ate a lot of humble pie.
Yeah, man. And then, like, Vader in Rogue One and in Kenobi and subsequent appearances Vader's now made since that buyout has been incredible. And it's like, oh, okay, you're doing the right thing with them.
And then another kind of spoiler, you wait till you get to Rebels.
Yeah, Rebels, again, when it first came out, I tried to watch it, and I got like 3 episodes in. I was like, this is very kiddie, and I dropped it quite quickly. Yeah. It will be on the watch. I feel like after, so in like an element of context, I really dug into The Mandalorian. Ahsoka came up, no idea who Ahsoka was, so I've now gone back to rewatch the Clone Wars. I know who Ahsoka is now.
So now, how does that line, "You're so much like your father," hit home from Boba Fett?
Yes. Yeah. I need to go back, I think, and rewatch that episode now that I know more about Ahsoka.
There's a
Because
great meme going around though. Actually, I love it, of Mando from Mando and from Vader, which is the Vader has always seen, Luke has always seen. That's my boy. They're both incredible.
I need to go back to that episode now. But then seeing the Ahsoka trailer from Celebration, I went, this looks fantastic. This looks so good. I don't recognize him. I remember Robin really fanboying out about Hera. And
he nearly deafened me when she appeared in the trailer.
Really, I thought he might have. And
Yeah.
I've got on the Galaxy Heroes game.
Yeah.
I've got the Phoenix Squadron, so I know who they are from that, but I've never watched Rebels. And now I'm like, I'm going to need to watch Rebels before I watch Ahsoka. So that's kind of like the prime reason I'm really going and digging back through the stuff I've missed, is so when this stuff comes out, I can understand it.
Ahsoka is essentially Rebels Season 5. So you will need to watch it to kind of really pick up on where they are, because you've seen in the trailer, you see that mural, which I sent you a picture of me actually in front of the mural celebration. Yeah, that's actually the last scene of Rebels. So they're starting off with the end of Rebels into Ahsoka. So
wow, they're really flowing through them.
Yeah. So it is kind of a and to be fair, then you'll understand why I like Kanan so much, because I'm not going to spoil it for you because you're going to watch it, but he overcomes something that is effectively a disability for him.
Oh, he goes blind, doesn't he?
But yeah, he goes blind.
Galaxy Heroes, mate. He's wearing like a sleeping mask. I was like, he can't see. Don't worry.
I thought you stopped playing Galaxy Heroes though.
I kind of picked it up again when like I got a notification on it. This was like, oh, the Mandalorian's available. And I was like, oh, well, I have to go do that. So I had to get like Mando and Cara Dune. And now I'm on the journey guide for Beskar Mando, and it's taken me forever because I was just like, oh, I can unlock the Bad Batch after I saw the Bad Batch in Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm currently getting Jedi Master Luke. Funny enough.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah. I'm working through it. Seeing Cara Dune is making me sad.
And that's the thing. Actually, funny enough, I 100% understand why Disney did what they did, as from a business standpoint, from
with what?
With
Cara Dune.
With Cara Dune, in terms of the actress, can't remember the name off the top of my head at the moment.
Gina Carano.
That's it. I understand why they did it. The problem is the character was really goddamn cool.
So this is a conversation I've been having with a lot of people, mate. Very recently, actually, we've a group of friends I have. We've been talking about things we used to watch and flashbacks and going, oh, well, that person's done this now. And it kind of came up, and it's the whole art versus artist argument. Because I loved Cara Dune's character. To have a rebel shock trooper who was like a survivor of Alderaan, I was like, this is amazing. It's not something we've really had outside of Leia.
No, and I hate J.K. Rowling, but I love Harry Potter. It's the same thing. Artist versus art. I love the character of Cara Dune. I just don't agree with what she said.
And I think she just had it was like a political opinion or something, wasn't it? Is that right? It was political, but Ezra Miller can do what he's done and be allowed to continue as the Flash. Yeah,
that I don't understand.
It's the art versus artist argument, And I felt Cara Dune was great, and I mean, I think we should do some recap episodes for the stuff we've not really had a big chance to talk about, like Mando season 3, and Kenobi and stuff. But that was Zeb in Mando season 3, wasn't it? As well.
Yeah, it was.
Again, I need to go back and watch Rebels.
I just slammed my hand on the desk with Gara's ever running us. I was extremely happy because Zeb is awesome.
I thought he was very, very, very cool. You do need to watch Visions too, because there's an episode in there I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
But you've not seen it.
No, because I've been watching The Young Jedi Adventures, which I wouldn't recommend for you because it is primarily a kid's show aimed like 5 to 8 year old kind of range. It really is a kid's show, but it is the High Republic, and actually it's enjoyable. Yeah. I watch it purely from a point of I like Yoda, I like Jedi.
You don't need to justify it. You're a fan. I mean, I got halfway through Tales of the Jedi, which was the young Count Dooku stuff.
Oh, that. To be fair, I don't get me wrong. I liked the Ahsoka half. The Dooku half was more interesting because I've seen a lot of Ahsoka. Dooku is a really cracking audio called Dooku Jedi Lost, where Sarge Ventress basically goes back and learns all of Dooku's background up into like for him becoming a Jedi. Tales of the Jedi then bridges the gap after she finishes her little look into it, and where you see him Attack of the Clones and Clone Wars. So it's a really well positioned piece, and to see the conflict and to see I liked the Ahsoka half. The Dooku half was much better.
I'm blown away by the voice actor they've got for Dooku as well, because he does sound a lot like Christopher Lee, and that never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah, it's Corey Burton, isn't it?
I think so. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, because he also does the voice of Cad Bane.
So good. But I get to that point. Man, what's the episode of Clone Wars? Like the bounty hunter escape room.
Yeah, the box.
So good.
With Morality Val, who talks about Morality Val in the third person because he is Terry Crews.
It's Terry Crews. He's Lord Flash, aren't they?
He's a mix of them both.
Flash by nature. And I was just watching it, and I was just like, "It's just bounty hunters doing escape room. It's so good.
It's fantastic.
It's so good." But yeah, Cameron's rad. I mean, yeah, I'm blown away by the voice actor for Dooku, and I've enjoyed his stuff. But I was going through Visions 2, and I was just like, "My God!" Like, you know, I'm watching it with people. And I was just like, "Oh, these episodes are really good. I would love Aardman Studios to do one. That would be amazing." And then it rolled to the next one, which was Aardman.
Yeah.
And there's a certain lens that they've taken for a small Bristol-based Wallace and Gromit studio, and it's just so charming. It's unreal.
My mate actually voices Diddy.
Really?
Yeah, he's an editor for Aardman. He did the voice of the Didderonian, which they effectively called Diddy. Because I asked him, what's the name of the character? Well, he doesn't have one in canon. So, cool, what did you call him? Diddy. Fine. It's canon for that universe now. It's done. But he was the voice for that. He's quite funny. He said, I'm sorry to disappoint you all. It wasn't Chicken Run 2 we were doing. It was Star Wars, and I'm annoyed at you. I love you at the same time because it's awesome you're on Star Wars, but damn it, I want more Chicken Run because that was a fantastic film when it came out. I love that film.
I don't want to be in a pack. I don't like gravy. No, the Visions one done by Aardman, it's so charming, man. And it's like the more anime based ones are okay. Like the first episode, it's done by this it's Spanish studio, and it's visually incredible. Like just the colors in it are, and it's what I really like about it. It's really kind of unhinged.
I'm looking forward to watching it because from season 1, the Ronin was like really cool, and actually there's a
lightsaber in a scabbard.
Yeah, and there is actually manga for the High Republic. They've done 2 so far, with the third one coming out later this year.
I like the droid with like the lead farmer hat, as we lovingly call it.
Yeah, and the lightsaber umbrella that was actually just like really cool.
No, I like that. So the second one, there's some really cool arts. There's some amazing artsy stuff in it, and some of the studios they've got, I had to go and follow on Instagram after watching the episodes because I was so blown away by some of the animation. But the Aardman one is it's so charming. Like you absolutely watch it. I think we'll discuss it in a future point.
We will 100%, especially now that we've got a platform to talk about it on. I was going to watch it anyway, but it gives me a reason to actually sit down and watch it. And because I'm watching the Young Jedi Adventures, but I'm also currently listening to Ples for Planet X, which is a Phase 2 High Republic book, and I've been just enjoying taking my time listening to the books. So I haven't been watching much because I've actually been sat listening to more things.
Bro, I've been going through Siege of Terror at the moment. I'm on 9 hours into book 2.
Gee, I need to catch up on Heresy at some point. I really do. But
bro, I tell you what, 160 books or whatever now.
Just going to do Siege of Terror.
Just go to Siege of Terror. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I stopped reading the Heresy at Mechanicum. I've picked up a couple of others since that point, but I've just gone straight into the Siege, and it's just... you can see why they keep getting New York Times bestsellers based on it.
Yep.
Utterly mind-blowing. So good.
And now we have Henry Cavill.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm going to be very interested to see what he does with the universe.
I must admit, bring it back to topic. I want to see Henry Cavill in Star Wars. I would love to see him. But
I don't think it's going to take long. I don't think it's going to take long.
I don't know what I would want to see him as, though. I would love to see him as a Jedi, I think. But at the same time, I kind of want to see him play the villain.
Who's the dude from Inferno Squad? Not Iden Verso, the other one.
Oh, Gideon Hask.
Yeah.
Gideon Hask would be a good one.
Cavill would be a great Imperial officer, or like an Imperial Spec Ops guy. He wouldn't necessarily have to be like a good guy.
Yeah.
I think that would be very cool.
But again, first talk about Mando season 3. Is why I love having Brendel Hux be in the Shadow Council.
Yes, I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that a lot. I was like, oh, that's Hux's dad.
But it's also Donald Gleason's brother.
Oh, is it actually his brother?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So it's why it looks and sounds so much like him, because it's actually his brother.
I just thought they did some amazing casting magic.
No, it's his
That's
brother
really cool.
playing his dad. But his dad basically creates the program that kidnaps kids to become the First Order Stormtroopers. So that's where his program is going.
Oh, see, I thought...
Because all the different names of the projects. The Project Necromancer is the Emperor, obviously. But everything else is the whole... Which is why I love the whole... Oh, no, clothing's your fascination, not mine. But,
I'm still holding out for that Snoke explanation.
I mean, it's happening. It's coming. They're building to that.
I want that. So I liked Snoke a lot.
Yeah.
And I had big problems with Palpatine coming back at the end of 9.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Do you know, and then 9 for me is summarized by one line, which is Poe Dameron just going, somehow Palpatine returned. And I was like, that's my review of the film.
Yeah.
It's like you said, I didn't dislike any. I wish John Boyega got a bigger chance to do what he did, because they were clearly setting him up to be Force sensitive.
Yeah.
Never ran with it. But like, I'm so simple, dude. Like, seeing Billy D come back made me happy. It just did. And man, when he turns up with all the rebels and like Wedge is in the gunner seat of the Falcon and stuff, I was like, yeah, I don't regret this. But yeah, the Palpatine, I saw this amazing review of Rise of Palpatine. I can't remember the channel that did it. It's so funny. They're the ones that did the top 10 things about Vader's suit.
To be fair, it should be called Rise of Palpatine, not Rise of Skywalker.
Well, did I say Rise of Palpatine? See?
You did. And it would have been a better title.
It would have been a better title. I'm already fixing it. But they did this great interview where one of the points they made, I never realized it before, and it just stuck in my head, where it just went, how is it the tool for finding the thing in the Death Star was shaped correctly for the destroyed Death Star? Like, did they know the shape it was going to break when it got blown up? And I was just like, oh God, I never thought about that.
No, I think it's because they hit it after the fact.
Well, we don't know. They said it's very old.
The Wayfinder is old, the dagger is old, but the actual coordinations. It's I don't know the full story yet, and
keep Goonies out of my Star Wars.
Like, I will know at some point. I will find it. I need all the information I can get my hands on. It's me.
Yeah, it was the Goonies. That's the only logical explanation I can think of.
Yeah.
No, but like, so yeah, that's a shame. But I thought Snoke was very interesting as like a new villain.
I mean, The Last Jedi is one of my favorite Star Wars films. I mean, as a Luke fan, especially why I like The Rise of Skywalker is Luke's journey is complete. And as a Luke fan, that's why I enjoy The Rise of Skywalker more than I would if I wasn't, I think. But that's just being I do enjoy it, even there's bits of it I don't like. But again, I agree. John Boyega kind of got a bit wasted, and there was bits of almost too much at once. But the biggest problem, of course, we had was not their fault in Carrie Fisher, unfortunately, passing away. Because it's supposed to be her film. And what they really should have done is actually just stick with J.J. Abrams from 7 through 9, not...
I think, yeah, the changing of
story.
It's something also The Force Awakens came out to people, when I think I put it to you after we'd both seen it. And it was just like, there's so many questions, like, who's this, what's that, what are they doing there, where did that come from? You're just like, you want answers from the guy who did Lost.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get them. So changing lanes so hard with Rian Johnson for 8. It's like he did his own thing. But actually, it's a weird touchback to what we were chatting about before we went live with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, how it was like a bit of a disjoint. And it turns out that Sam Raimi and stuff just admitted they didn't see WandaVision before making it.
Yeah.
And that's why the characterization was completely different, because they went and made a film and someone went and made a TV series, and then they didn't marry up.
And
that was the problem with 7 into 8. So with 9, of course, JJ had to like undo everything. And it's simple because Kylo Ren was so interesting as a character, and when he comes back and he's Ben again, and he like acts like Han, I was like, it's so good.
Now, this is the thing, though. I remember this clear as day after we saw Force Awakens. We were talking about it, and you hated Kylo so much.
Because he killed Han!
You know what's funny, though? This is in my past career. I was working on a film, and I was talking to a mate of mine. It's like, it's one thing when you see spoilers. It's another thing when you're the one swinging the crane doing it. Because of course he was like, oh shit, yeah, you saw it long before we did. I feel for you on that one. But yes, no, I know you hate it because he killed Han, but also you
Alex Brightman doing Beetlejuice at that award ceremony where he's doing the whole being dead thing, and he's like, Adam Driver, you killed Han Solo, not cool, bro. And it's so right. That's why I hated him, because he killed like my childhood idol.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not man enough I'm not too afraid of masculinity. I dropped to the floor in tears when that happened.
I know.
When I watched it a second time, I couldn't remember. Everything past the point Han died was new to me, because it like emotionally crippled me. Because this is like someone I, for some reason, looked up to since I was like 6-7 years old, man. And was just like my childhood got severed.
Yeah. So when Luke died in 8, I lost it, because for me that was my emotional hammer.
Of course it is.
It still hits like a freight train, but it's...
You build attachments to these characters, and you look up to these fictional characters. So, no, I didn't like Kylo, because he committed like a cardinal sin. But he was incredibly intriguing to watch.
Yeah.
As an actor, like his performance. I think Matt the radar technician went a long way to warming me up.
Yes, very true.
That went a very long way to warming me up to him. I was like, this is fun. My job on Facebook is still radar technician on Starkiller.
Yeah. Oh.
Like Matt the radar. And then, the redemption arc in 9, when he does like the Han stance with the blaster.
Yep.
And
it's
I'm like,
the no-look shot that is just like, mirrors 7. It's mirroring 7 in so many ways, because
I'm like, there's a lot of your dad and your kid.
But it's what my favorite part of that entire bit is when he gets the lightsabers. Like, cool, now it's a fair fight.
Oh, he kind of pulls it out, doesn't he?
Yeah, because Rey hands it to him from behind the back. He's like, cool. And we talked about Snoke. Andy Serkis. We're gonna get to this. We'll talk about Andor.
He gets everywhere now, and he's like sand.
He is amazing in Andor, and I cannot wait to talk to you about that. It is going to be one of my favorite parts, because I'm watching it with Dad at the moment, so he's not seen all of Andor. We're watching it through.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be seeing it again, also for like the 4th, 5th time, whatever it's Matt to me. I have to watch it every day of the week. But those episodes, knowing who you are, as one of my oldest friends, knowing your connections and things. Yes, you're just going to fall in love with his character. And
do you know what? I was thinking about this. I like everything that Andy Serkis is in.
Yeah.
I've never seen that man give a bad performance. Even his Alfred in the Batman was incredible. You just kind of felt sorry for him. But the fact he's in Andor, I'm like excited for. And then I think I read someone the other day, Andor season 2 is set in the 3 days before Rogue One or something.
So the way they've done it is Andor is set 5 years before Rogue One. Season 1 is 4 years before. Season 2 is basically those 4 years in one season.
Oh,
and
wow.
The last arc is going to be those 3 days before Rogue One.
Yeah. Well, we'll discuss it. I'll watch it. I will watch it in the next couple of days, I think, because that's going to be the first one I think we're going to discuss, isn't it? And I've got to do the first 3 episodes.
First 3 episodes.
That's my homework.
We'll talk about next week, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that won't be difficult to do.
So, speaking of which, basically, so we're at nearly 50 minutes, or we're going to try and keep this to an hour in terms of the part we record anyway. You and I can chat for hours as is. But this is kind of what you guys are going to get week in, week out. Is there's not a set kind of plan per se. We're going to look over TV shows. We've got bits coming. Yes, when Ahsoka comes out, we'll review that and things. And I will be both between here and Opera and Cinema Savvy talking about it with them as well, with Dave and George and things. We pop around and doing what I can because I enjoy talking about Star Wars. But we will talk about it here. We will talk about the Book of Boba Fett and Mando and go back and things. We'll do these retrospectives that, in a fresh perspective for me, I'm really looking forward to, because there's bits that I get to introduce you to that you've not either seen before, heard of before. I get also, you and I have just an absolute laugh. So what you guys are going to see on this show is not only us reviewing what's coming up, but we're looking back, and none of it's going to be set. It's just going to be us having a laugh. That's just the show.
It's not going to be things like we're doing the news and all those kind of things, because Star Wars news is so accessible now.
Yeah.
It's more just getting together and talking about Star Wars. Like, I think it's just like a chat, and everyone can come and join in on the conversation, because there's other people are going to have, especially when we talk about Book of Boba Fett. That's going to be a bumper 6-hour long episode.
There'll be more discussing the Book of Boba Fett than actually watching the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. I'll be in a coma for an hour of that as well. But
it's fine, because I will just talk about Luke for that hour. It's great.
Be like a bantha. Kill me. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, no, we're just going to meet. Basically, we're just going to meet up and talk about Star Wars. Like, there's no real thing, except I'm going to be watching things for the first time. Now, I'm not as much of a deep lore buff as Phil is, so I will come at these things with, I consume a lot of media, so I'm going to come to these things with a fresh set of eyes, you know. I will always cite back to the different opinions and the things that happen, like ones with the Force. I'll forever say this to the day I die, not the Force. Is that when we're talking about Mando season 1, and I was just like, look, this is where they're going to bring Boba back. Like, it just makes sense. From like a franchise speculative, not from a lore point of view, not from a canon point of view, from a like marketing franchise perspective.
It's basically, it's like, I've got a feeling this is what they're doing. If they're going to do it, this is how long they're doing it.
You can't bring back the Mandalorian that matters in a series. Anyway, so I will kind of objectively look at these things and look at tropes and stuff like that. And Phil knows the real lore deep dive, and effectively the Bad Batch. I'm so excited to get on the Bad Batch, because it's like, from what I can gather, it's like the Expendables in the Star Wars universe, and you're just going to have me
100%.
Right, so I'm going to dig it, and I'll just be there like that monkey with symbols, being like, this show's really good.
This is why I knew you'd love Wrecker, though, because Wrecker is that big dumb friend we all have. As I said, it's just...
Yeah, and he's great. Like, he's been the best one. But when Hunter took off his helmet, I was like, it's Rambo!
Yes, it's like Marbo.
It's like it's Rambo. So
it's like Marbo. We know this.
Have you read the book about... The novel about Sly Marbo?
I haven't, no.
It's called the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, dear.
Let me rephrase that. There's a novel about Hunter. It's called the Guinness Book of World Records. Just edit the Marbo bit. I don't know. So it's just going to be a casual chat on Star Wars, really. There's going to be a lot of stuff I'm seeing for the first time, and Phil's seen it for like the 60th time or whatever. And it's going to be a chance.
And then we'll get on to the stuff that does come out that we'll both be seeing for the first time. And then you'll get those two perspectives of...
And I think retrospect will be good, because I think we've not really properly spoken about Mando Season 3.
No.
We've not properly spoken about Kenobi. We could do episode by episode of Clone Wars, but we'll be here for 6 years. But Rebels, I mean, I'm very interested to get onto Rebels. I think that might have to be the next watch before Ahsoka's this year.
Yeah, August.
So I'm going to need to get on with Rebels, I think, after Andor. But Clone Wars, I'm kind of watching in my lunch breaks and stuff. It's my downtime thing. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I have got Turning Up Tomorrow before we end. Have you seen those smugglers crates advertised on like Facebook? The Star Wars but one of them turning up tomorrow. So nice. I'll be interested to kind of see what's in it.
I mean, to then give you the real kind of scope for those who don't know me well, Matt knows this especially well when it comes to especially the comics and the book side of things. I get pretty much everything. When I say everything, I mean I've had a couple turn up this week to complete sections of the High Republic. There's only 2 I was missing anyway. Well, there's a couple more I need to grab my hands on. There have been, I think, between 11 and 1,200 single issues released since 2015. I think I'm missing about 20. I
remember you buying these. I think one thing is, I think we're going to have to maybe start a movement on, Phil, is getting our live action Dr. Aphra.
Yes, 100%. Give me Aphra, give me my murder droids, because she is amazing. For those of you who don't know who Aphra is, you've seen The
You missed it now.
Mandalorian. Like, it's in Book of Boba Fett. You've seen Black Chrysanthemum. He's in Dr. Aphra. Dr. Aphra
Do you remember
is...
when that turned up and I'd not read it yet? And you sent me a screenshot, just like, Boba has a Wookiee now.
Yes.
And I lost my mind. I was like, what's going on? He's covered in scars. He's great.
And he has those knuckle dusters, which are incredible.
Yeah, I lost my mind when you sent me that. You're like, oh, Boba's got a Wookiee, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then he appeared in Book of Boba Fett.
We have to Book of Boba Fett. We literally goes, he has the option to put him down or rip the arms off.
Yeah.
And just goes, sod it, rips the arm off, because
So
that's what he does.
Good. God, I
Dr.
love
Aphra
Wookiees.
is basically a gay Indiana Jones in space with murder droids. Is the
Because she
best way to
works
say
for Vader as well, doesn't she? Really,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
initially
great.
she works for Vader, yeah. And then she gets fired out of an airlock.
She's
She thinks he kills her.
awesome.
She's incredible, but she is basically Space Indiana Jones. And she, as I said, she's gay. She actually dates Sana Starros, who also was married to Han Solo for a little bit as well. In
Oh my
really
god,
roundabout
that was
ways.
so good, that issue.
And what's cool for me in the High Republic, the Saros family is in it because they
Really?
are senators. Yeah, literally senators. Also,
Leia
Lord
being
Sentaka, who you
Dark
see
Senator.
in episode 7, the Sentakas are actually hyperspace lane prospectors. So I have the family history going back. It's like, I don't know this character, why he has a map. Because he's a bloody prospector. It's like, I lose my mind at this kind of stuff. But yeah, again, essentially, this is why we work. Right,
We
as
need
friends,
Aphra.
but it also as a show. Because
We need Aphra, like
We need
100%.
Aphra.
I also really
and
want.
BC1 000.
Yeah, like, Aphra series. Who would you cast as Aphra?
If she hadn't been cast already as Fennec Shand, Ming-Na Wen.
See, I was going to say Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, I could 100% see that. I really could.
Zoe Kravitz, she's young enough to do like 6 seasons in a movie.
And again, annoyingly, I can't remember the actress name off the top of my head, but she's just been cast as Sabine in Rebels. She's the other one I would have cast in the role.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. No, I'd take Zoe Kravitz, man. Like, a good Catwoman, because she kind of, Aphra looks a bit Catwoman-esque. Next, we need to push our live-action Aphra series.
Yes.
Like, the murder droids could be voiced by Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, give me Hugh Laurie as 000. Yes.
That would be great. That's how I read it. I read it in that kind of voice, like the Hugh Laurie.
What do you mean I can't turn these B1 battle droids into blood-sucking machines?
Or David Mitchell.
No, I don't like David Mitchell. Though, so I wouldn't put that much to me.
Shut up, Triple Theory, idiot. Yeah, Hugh Laurie. Oh, yeah, the other thing, I want a Maz series, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
She is such an interesting character. I think she's an interesting character because she's wrapped in mystery. How did she get the lightsaber? What was she doing during Last Jedi when she was scooting around on a jetpack shooting something?
Yeah, that's a story for another time. The another time is now give me that story. I've had long enough.
They literally say that in the film, don't they? It's like, it's a story for another time. I'm like, no, it's a story for now. What are you doing? Are you a Jawa with no hood? Like, what are you? Who are you? Why do you have this lightsaber? I have so many questions.
Yeah, this was 8 years ago. Give me my answer now, damn it.
A live-action Maz series, and then we will push and maybe get cast as executive producers on the Aphra series.
Give me that 100% to the day
With
I die.
Hugh Laurie and Zoe Kravitz.
Yep, I would.
And Hayden Christensen to come back as Vader. Let that happen.
Yes.
That's fine.
I would totally, and then we get Black Chrysanthemum back as well. You have to have
Yeah,
Santi.
we pull him back, and then we'll get Tamara back as Boba.
Yep.
But it has to be like, remember what you were like in Empire Strikes Back when you were kind of scary. You got to do that again.
Yeah, don't say much, don't do much, just be badass, and then eventually get kicked off of somewhere. That's
You're not riding a Rancor, but just nod and look threatening for a lot of it, but you still get your Wookiee pal.
And to be fair, like, this is why at some point, when you and I get to catch up, because I've only briefly seen you, I've been in the wheelchair, it's just going to go like a panther to push me along. I'm now a passenger to this.
panther.
Like a panther.
That was the problem with that.
Yep. Oh.
So, episode 0 of pushing for the live-action Dr. Afro series.
Yep, that's pretty much what this is. Hashtag give us Afro. Oh. But on that point, it's been this is episode 0. This is our introduction. This is you guys getting to know us both as fans and what the kind of the show's going to entail. Yeah, we're going to look back at stuff. We're going to look into new things, old things. We're going to chat about it, going to have a laugh. But this is more so you guys get to know who we are and what we're about, because we've been friends for a long ass time. We talk weekly, as we say, about Star Wars anyway. We thought I'll put it out. So it's an excuse for us to chat more, which is never a bad thing.
I mean, that's ultimately it, isn't it? It's just an excuse to see each other and not talk over Messenger all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And just wax lyrical about Star Wars, which is super rad. And
so we're supposed to start 8 and then spend 40 minutes chatting beforehand, and we'll probably spend a little bit more time chatting afterwards because we're just catching up.
Yeah, and I think it'd be cool. Like, just, when it comes to, like, stuff, if you're watching, and I've never really done these YouTube things particularly well, but join us, grab a beer, grab a coffee, whatever, and then come get nostalgic with us.
Pretty much is how it's going to be. So this episode was recorded, obviously. We will be live next week. Join the comments. At this point, I haven't got all the socials done. I've been doing it. Matt has been like, I don't know how to do all this, so I've been busy. We're getting it done slowly. We're just getting there.
Correct. I don't know, but there's got to be a way to make it profitable.
This venture is no longer profitable. Because Hondo's amazing. It's one of my favorite lines from Hondo.
They were my men. They turned on me. I'm so proud.
Yeah. And just you wait till you see the Rebels as well, because he's fantastic. But it's just the I had friends who were Jedi once. At least I think they were friends.
He's so good. He is. I think the thing I loved about it, and I said this to you, is Hondo is to Obi-Wan what Doug Judy is to Jake Peralta. He's to Obi-Wan's Pontiac Bandit. And now since I've rewatched all Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I can't unsee it.
Yep. But it's what I messaged you saying. It's like about Pirate's Prize, which is the book. If you listen to it narrated by Jim Cummins, I'll send you the link for it. You have Hondo doing pew pew noises because it's the story of how he gets the Falcon. Matt's reaction was, "Wait, Hondo gets the Falcons? Like, have you not?"
Man, I didn't know he got the Falcon. Like, the best ship. It's like the best character in Star Wars. Jim Cummings' voice is Hondo.
Yes.
Is it on Audible?
It's not. It is, but not in the UK. I found it. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, all right. I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's coming to Star Wars Shatterpoint. Like,
yes.
I've not seen a picture of him yet, but someone said they're doing Hondo, and I'm so excited.
My friends, it's like Hondo and Aka.
I love him so much.
But
we live action him as well. We need a live action him.
By him trying to kidnap younglings.
I remember that. I wasn't even mad about it.
It's probably why him and Anakin get on so well together, because they just want to kill younglings. It's just done.
And they were in no danger because it was Hondo.
Yeah.
He turned up and was like, "Oh, they're gonna be fine. It's gonna sell them or something. They'll be all right." Oh, I love Hondo so much.
But and then, of course, then comes the Brit Line. This venture is no longer profitable. We will find a way to make it profitable. But
there's no money anymore. I'm gone.
Exactly.
I wonder if he'll turn up in the Ahsoka set. I'm really upset he wasn't in Mando season 3. You know, he went to Pirates.
Give me a live action Hondo. I would absolutely, because they do the same with Cad Bane. They did in Boba Fett. Which Corey Burton did the voice.
Have him turn up and then get shot? No.
But have Corey Burton, who did the voice of Cad Bane in the Clone Wars, come back for the voice in Mando. Give Jim Cummins the voice. I mean, Jim Cummins the voice of our childhood with Winnie the Pooh and Car and other things as it is. Anyway, he's also the voice of our adulthoods with Hondo and Naka.
I'm telling you, like those pirates in Mando 3. I even messaged you after that episode going, "Is this Hondo?"
I was like, unfortunately not.
I liked Captain Algie Beard. He was wicked, and the pirates are very cool. Yeah, he was awesome. I was like, cool, there's a big threatening pirate. This is rad. But I wanted it to be Hondo. And I'm wondering if it was up in Ahsoka, you know?
Hi, but then, of course, it was linked with Gideon. It's Gideon doing it all along, which I love.
Hondo would have worked for Gideon if he got paid.
Yeah, Yes, of course he would have done.
See?
It works perfectly.
Wish listed now. Oh, yeah, if he could turn up in Ahsoka, that'd be fun.
So,
He
summarize
should have turned up in
episode 0.
Kenobi, Phil.
He should have been.
There's that really serious tone through the whole thing. He just turned up at one moment.
Yeah.
Even as a flashback, that could have been.
It
awesome.
would have been. It would have been cool. But to summarize episode 0, basically, this is who we are. We want a live action Afro. We want live action Hondo. Just give us all these things. We are fine. Enjoy it for the ride. It is gonna be a blast.
You see, the Sith and Scoundrel is actually the Dr. Afro Stan Club. We're bona fide Afro Stans.
That we are. That we are. But we will see you next week at Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Talk about Andor.
Yeah, we will. First few episodes. Catch you later, guys.
Bloody boom.